And we see PRD picking up a blue mail. That's nice. And Furaime, after a few problems, is able to finally start. You're seeing prdwong clip over to the hobo, which he will be able to quickly grab that item there. And Furaime, after checking the Hylia Island, decides to go over and check the Sarshwara shakes. And we do get the map check. We do have a pendant in Eastern Palace. I saw Krista and Hera, and our tracker Samimas did see the pendant in Desert Palace. Ooh, Mirror, we already got some Darkwood access and a lot of bombs. Bombs are always nice to have early on. So that early mirror could make some things interesting if one of the runners would decide to go up to this mountain early on, because we do have with the mirror parts of Darkwood, Easters Mountain in logic. Namely some parts of Turtle Rock and Silver Bunny Cave. PRD now deciding to go into Eastern, I guess? Which, if it pays out, it's going to pay out big, because no one goes to Eastern early on unless you really want to do it. So, if it pays out, it's paying off big. And Furaime getting 80 rupees off the poetry. And a lot of bombs from the crab, so if you ever out of bombs this seed, just find the next crab. Hard piece on the lumberjack, so with the mirror we will definitely not see Aghanim done today. With the mirror we can already clear out East Darkwood, so we wouldn't even need it for a pearl on Pyramid Ledge. And we get even more bombs, yay! Now Furaime into Kakariko. Kakariko, one of the biggest spots of things. Also, I did miss it, but we did have one of the runners check out the green pendant hint from Sashura, which showed us Ice Palace is the green pendant, which said we know all the crystals inside, but we just don't know which ones are red yet. But red crystals don't mean anything in Overworld glitches once you got the mirror. And there's Bombers. And prdwong in the dark rooms in Eastern Palace, while Furaime getting a lot more chests in in Kakariko. So far, not much true. In either location, it wasn't that paying off so far. Instead, we are paying off the water vendor for just a half piece. He looked from the lovely cat Zora. And Furaime doing my most loved clip, chicken clip, gets him through the wall, not fully into the other room, but if we wait long enough, he will get out. So far we pretty much didn't found much. We found some explosives, some big explosives, and some hearts. And of course, the only way to look out at ourselves. So I'm not gonna check the race game, and if it would be something that he would actually want, he wouldn't care. He would just literally grab it from down here. He wouldn't do the race game, since we do play with glitches. And hey, finally, first round, we can use our big explosives. And big key for Desert on the torch. Some arrows in Maya, so that's one of the items in Maya that we already got. We of course don't know the other one yet, but that's already a good hint. And there was still searching for the small key, which will be in the middle chest here. Okay, now getting into the Kakariko checks, Furaime gonna finish up the desert checks. And it looks like there will be one item on the boss in Maya, boss in desert. It's of course a pendant, so we might not have to do it, but it's something we will have to keep in mind. There will be one item on the boss. And time to use one of the bombs that we got so far to open the way into Agnes cave. Hey, more love. Primer, please stop forgetting K45. If you don't want to do it before Egna, okay. But don't forget it, please. And of course, with the mirror, we can easily make those blocks just disappear. They couldn't stand looking at themselves. And the seed keeps true. A lot of hearts, a lot of bombs. Okay, Primer, will you use bombers for the mini modem cave? To be honest, based on how the mini modem cave goes, bombers may take some time, but it's consistent. Going for anything else might go bad. That's was definitely faster than if he would have used bombers. And we got Master Sword. And money. And love. Ooh, Furaime is 3 rupees short, and he really wants to find those rupees. And he gets a big 20, so he's good. And he gets even more rupees, leaves a bomb behind to say his gratitude. So we will see what's going on in Waterfall Ferry. Nothing good or bad. Bad would have been if it would have been a hard piece that would have been in there, and we would have gotten our fourth hard piece. But luckily, nothing like that happened. Okay, big 20 on the Sword Edge. We don't have to clip over there to get it. And let's see, what has the King of Scam for us today? Zippo! Woo! And prdwong didn't forget about the K45. And it's just a small key, so not that bad for PRD. I meant for Furaime, of course. Furaime now looks to go to the up of this mountain. And with this setup, he will be at the top of the screen, even though it looks like he's at the bottom. But Furaime, you need to. I think you need to dash up or something. Oh, I didn't do that way to get up that mountain in months. But you do need to dash for that one, I think. And I think you need to press up. So, not sure what you actually have to do on that one, as I didn't do it in a long time, but he will now go for a more classic one. He's slipping into this wall, which will get him into a teleport position where he teleports over the screen transition. You want to go up, or you just go ahead and do the other thing again. Meanwhile, prdwong did go over the screen transition, was able to transition over to Death Mountain, and had to correct this camera, because otherwise he would have not been able to actually transition. And there he goes. Furaime is able to get his clip, which a bit further to the left, there you go, Furaime, and that gets him straight into Hera. And Furaime using his bow to get and the mirror to get the big key quickly, and prdwong meanwhile did a pretty precise clip that isn't as precise as you may think once you understand it. Also, we got Isa in the Tower of Hera, so we are starting to complete our coin collection, just one away. Huh? And something sharp and... Okay, so we know boost items in Maya now. And we know one of them is the sword on the left side, together with the big key. Yes, Furaime. You understand correctly. This is a good hint. So boost players now have the ether. And Furaime now fighting our loved friend. He will never troll us, he will never be against us. See, Furaime is able to make friends. And that's 20 rupees. I think that we have boost items now. Or was it? Okay, no. Yes, we had boost items. We had the ether medallion in the basement. Or not basement, in the back of the main room. And we do see Furaime now going over to check the Spectacle Rock Cave. He's going straight in. He will be able to pick up the hint while he's grabbing whatever crap is in here. PRD having to do more down with the fighter sword will end up giving him the enraged face. And yes, chat, I am German. Okay, let's hope that PRD is able to get through this fight this time. And yes, he is! He's able to get through the modern fight and will get his big prize of 20 rupees. Meanwhile, the old man giving him 300 giving us 300 just for bringing him back home. And I think what Furaime is doing here right now, it's not what I think he's doing. I thought for a moment that he would go for doing the permanent thing, which would have been worth for him. For going for Easter's Mountain, going across the bottom is faster. Just because it's less clipping around and stuff. The island only having a heart piece. We could get it right now actually, but we don't need to. Meanwhile, PRD is clipping up, doing a clip that we call Jar Climb, which will give him access up here, which is nice for him. He sees a heart piece on the floating island. And Furaime having the mirror decides to take the bottom entrance, will be able to mirror erase this little block down here by spamming the mirror and then able to go straight into the lower upper entrance. It's a paradox. No one knows. And we do have our first laugh. That laugh unlocks one thing. And that thing is Checkerboard Cave. And I guess Back of Escape, but we could sequence break into Back of Escape if we really wanted, so Yeah. Shield Bucket Moonfall! Yay! And with that moonfall and that mirror, we now have access to the entire world, both light and dark. So we are able to roam free through the entire world and do whatever we want. And what Furaime now wants to do is apparently either check the swamp area or check out the Pyramid Ferry. And he's checking out the Pyramid Ferry. He's going to place this portal down here. We'll reset his camera. And afterwards, either Death Warp, Flute we don't have, or do a Death Warp descent into a hole, into any hole down here. Did Furaime do K45 Graveyard Ledge already? Whatever. Either way, this will get him in this houlihan room, which has a lot of rubies. We don't care about them. But more important, the houlihan room gets us straight into Link's house, which is right next to the castle. Meanwhile, PRD did do the super drop, which I sadly missed, but he's going to show us what's in Swamp Palace on the hint, I hope. Yes, he does. Meanwhile, Furaime did found the mushroom on the uncle. And the fire rod right next to him. You knew. Thanks, game. We knew that. Okay, there was a hint for Legend Hero. Thanks, chat. I am definitely not keeping track of things like. Even though I definitely. And for the minute escape play on Furaime, we will find a key in the first chest. It's legendary in OWG because usually you are here at the hour mark because you had everything else in the world open and never a reason to route over here. In the PRD, in the cave, formerly known as Hype Cave, finds 10 arrows, 50 rupees, a hammer, decent. We got the hammer, so I guess that's required after all. Things that are required. We do still need the ice rod, the hook shot, the cane of the Maria, and the flippers, and potentially the Quake medallion. And of course, the red boomerang. How can we live without the worst boomerang in the world? Also, PRD showing us, hey, if you have medallion and use it for the modems, that can go pretty quick if you have the right one. As long as you don't have bombos. Bombos is slow. And PRD looks like he's going to get to Ice Rock Cave and probably afterwards going to head over to the Zora area, which would give him his bow, which will be allowing him to complete out Palace of Darkness. And meanwhile, Furaime using his portal, which was placed pretty carefully and right on top of the entrance for the Pyramid Ferry. Hey, we got the lamp Furaime could have used that like 5 seconds earlier. And our first ball on the pyramid ledge. And that bottle is already loaded. Furaime, that won't get you anything. The problem with what you're trying to do, Furaime, is... Oh! He's going to use that to route to South Darkworld. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm sorry, Furaime. I'm sorry for doubting you. Also, we did find the Titansmith somewhere. Useless. And Furaime now going to pick up his hammer in just a moment while PRD finds his bow from Zora. Not scaring today. So yeah, the boost players now. Okay, once PRD figures his way into the castle, he will pick up his fire rod. It's kind of a bad place for the fire rod because it's not too much on the way, and fire rod is not necessarily one of those items that you necessarily will find. Also, PRD, please learn bomber skip. Thanks. I think somewhere in Castle was the Titansmith because I knew that Furaime didn't have it before it, and pretty think onto the how's he called? Stumpy. Meanwhile, Furaime now has to come back for his completely forgotten about 45. Please learn to clip over here, Furaime, early on. This is in logic, so don't forget it. And we do see now a bomber is our one and only medallion required for today. And I'm gonna show us what's in the checkerboard cave. Meanwhile, PRD. Also, guys, please learn the quick way out of my area. It's not that hard. I don't know why, but every time people go out of Maya, they take the long clip. That will have them walk around again. If they have to go into the more down right area, that's fine. But going up, that's slightly up. That's a lot of dick so far. And we get rewarded with the most important item of them all, 20 rupees. And PID not having the mids has to clip out. Furaime having the mids will skip clipping out, which will save him from a text box. Will also allow him to quickly grab the smith while on the way to a Village of the Outcast. And luckily, Furaime did pick up the hammer on the way over here because now he can check the hammer packs while he's at it. It's a heart. Sure, let's get that. And of course, we can quickly finish up the checks over here by bringing the Smith stone. We might see Furaime decide to grab the purple chest, but I don't see it. Also, Smith, why are you wasting your time on making only one single arrow? How are you making money? Oh, I guess you're making money because we paid 10 rupees for that one arrow. Nice keyage into the chess game there by Freimer, and we get the flute. Blue paperweight. But since we're already here, we might actually see Freimer activated. And yes, we see Freimer activated. We often joke about the flute in glitched modes. It's not that bad. It's a waste of time to activate unless you actually use it. The thing is, we usually don't get it to until a point where we actually don't use it. Also, Freimer should have activated the flute right further to the left. Reasoning is you can start moving earlier if you are starting the cutscene with the camera being further left, which puts the dark sprite off screen earlier. So far, I don't think we found anything inside the Steve Stone, other than a few more. So there will be, we will be able to check out the big chest. And we do see PRD now online, not still on script so far, and stays on script through phase 2. So we will see if he is able to get the script throughout phase 3, which he gets. Phase 3 script is literally impossible to get. Also, thanks hint. So, second crystal for PID, which is nice to have. He doesn't have the fire rod, so he can't go straight over to the Skyward's area and get that out of the way. But he also gets the flute, so he will also quickly activate it. Having the flute might actually get PRD the idea of doing permanent fairy, which would lead him to his two fire sources. And looks like PRD actually is on the way for it. He might decide to go for a GT right now, which is an valid option. But yep, he is going for the permanent fair play, which makes sense. With the flute in hand, this is going to be a real quick check. And while he at it, he's going to check out the not Graveyard, that's the King's Tomb as well. Also, PRD, you don't need to do that setup that you're doing. You can just buffer up one pixel after the transition and then straight up dash right with the setup that you do. Also, we now know where every sword is. The last sword is on the Maya left side. Also, real nice spin speed there from Furaime, being able to get it off the Seastone stairs. It's actually hard to get the pixel from that. Ooh, a book on the bumper ledge. Also, fire rod for PRD. Right after the mushroom. So yeah, we are still looking for Ice Rod, Hookshot, Zomaria, and Flippers. So hopefully some of them are in here. Also, Furaime, you have Fire Rod. You could go for the boss first, which would allow you to possibly skip the front. Hey, Ice Rod, so wouldn't possibly skip the front, but might have still been nice, but Ice Rod is nicer. Or nicer. And really well executed Mumroom by Furaime. Meanwhile, PRD gets his red boomerang. Yay! And Vanilla Becky. We are seeing Furaime go for the boss, which is a sensible play now. Okay, we are in for some quick little modular fight. It's going to be Master Sword modular, but we do have the hammer, and I'm extremely sure that Furaime is good at the fight. How can you execute that well? Primer, please teach me. So yeah, extremely well executed back of squads there from Furaime. Also lamp for PRD. And there we go. The monster's down, giving us 5 rupees. Wow. Should have gotten a different monster to hunt. That was a pretty low reward. But it gives us a crystal, we needed to do it anyway, so that's nice. Also, did PRD pick up the mids while in the castle? Also, sorry chat, arrows on chat, no pet. Arrows on chat? What am I talking about? And looks like PRD does have some mids, which is nice to have. So yeah, if you'd ask me, runners will probably soon head over to Palace of Darkness or GT. Those are extremely valuable locations and we can potentially clear them out. Palace of Darkness will give us a crystal, GT will give us a GT big key at some point. And Furaime is going for GT. He's going to line up with that wall, dash buffer into this slope down here until he's not going further, and then use the spin to buffer a downright input until he jumps. After the jump, he had to press once to the right, which pushed him out of a wall. And from there, he just had to walk up the stairs. And PRD now going to check out what's in the purple chest. We did not see this part from Furaime. Also, a useless cape on the torch. It can burn on there. Dang, this cape can burn, right? We can't get rid of it. And Furaime not too confident with hovering on, not able to hover at all. Going for a bomb jump instead. It's fine. We do know the hookshot won't be in these 4 chests. There's still one more chest in this dungeon that is not hookshot locked. Or I guess 2 for the seed, because technically the Mario locked side is not hookshot locked unless you don't have the 3 small keys for anything up past the big after the tie room. Also, PRD does have a gold sword. Oh no, okay, I just missaw that one. If Ken of Mario is in left side GT, that's just like coming from it, being similar to keys. So we won't find the hookshot inside GT unless it's unless we have to come back with Cane of Samaria for the tie room. Shad, did we pick up the big key so far, or still missing in action? That fall was not intentional, I promise. Okay, Furaime going for a Bob chest. He definitely knows the setup of just letting Bob run into the skill pod once and afterwards pick up the skill pod, which allows you to just walk past him. And now that we have the big key, we have to still fight Amos because for some reason someone thought, hey, putting items in GT is fun. And items in Ganon's Tower are pretty common, like Quake. Quake not used for the siege. We still have the big chest in here that we can get, and I'm pretty sure that Furaime will. Okay, Furaime will not go upstairs. Alright, he can't have a. He needs Oak. He wants Oakshot, and he knows Oakshot can be upstairs. Yet. No, Oakshot cannot be upstairs, no matter what, because there were only 2 keys found before Oakshot log. PRD now in the Skillwords area will find the Ice Rod in just a moment, and there it is. Yay, Ice Rod! So at this point we are pretty much down to East Darkness Mountain, Spike Cave, I guess, Palace of Darkness, Catfish. And I guess some chests in Turtle Rock. Devil Palace boss is also still open, and Eastern Palace, I don't know if he got all items in there. And oh, we have full access to Ice Palace, even in Logic. This is interesting. It's a pendant. You usually don't want to have access to pendant dungeons if you can get out of it. Oh, we did check Spy Cave and it had bombs, so thank you, Shast. Thank you, Shad. Not Shast. I'm sorry. You are treasures, but you don't have just rupees on you. And Furaime now into Hookshot Cave. Hookshot Cave, without the hookshot, we can only reach one of the items in Logic. It will be interesting to see if Furaime goes for the Hava. Nope. If you did practice Hava but are not confident with it, to the point where you actually want to use it for logic breaks, that is the point where you would do hovering, just because you're already there, and sure, why not give it a try, and once you fall, you just give up. I don't know if PRD can hover, but he will also skip out on it, so this is definitely nice. So at least this time not boost runners actually At least boost runners are not able to do the hovering, which at least levels the playing field. In Overworld Legends, most people are able to hover just because compared to NMG, the group that plays glitches is not necessarily more like top level player, but they are usually more dedicated to the game, are playing the game a lot for different reasons, and some of them are just glitches, and hovering is one of those glitches. And no, we haven't checked the witch yet. Non-Bullock port, not that it mattered. And we got flippers. We could now dip into Ice Palace. Hey? Not Ice Palace, into Swamp Palace. Who feels about the vanilla hookshot today? I'm sure Shed does. Alternatively, Shed wants the pet hookshot, which is also a good alternative. We did got hints about the unique item in the castle, which, yeah, true, but thanks. Wow, okay, that Mimic Room and Palace of Darkness went extremely well for Furaime. You definitely see that Boost players did put in a lot of practice overall. Furaime using the bomb there. One thing to note, Furaime, always make sure that you are not too fast on getting to the stairs there. Because if you are too fast on the stairs, it is totally possible that you hit the bomb before going up the stairs. And then again, once you are at the top of the stairs, because game is good programmed and has a nice frame rule system, which doesn't allow you to get hit every 3 frames, but that's also the same for a lot of other things like your bombs. Yep, Palace of Darkness has keys. I hope you like keys, because we do have a lot of them. Only place with more keys is the Cave State. Cave State has a lot more keys, because why not have a lot of keys when you don't have a single key door? And there's the vanilla big key for boost players. You literally just see boost players be right next to each other. And I think Furaime just second guessed themselves there over not checking out the left side, the big chest. Meanwhile, PRD does quickly check out the big chest. And one map. So Furaime might Furaime might have known that there are boost weapon combos still missing and wanted to find out if one of them is on the boss, if both of them in the next to the big chest in the maze. What? You can what? You can throw the boomerang through the stairs? What? Dang! This game is broken. Thanks. Thanks, Furaime, for showing. And here's our Lord and Savior, Helmasaur. Oh no, that was Trollum, right. Red Meringue has some nice threads in GT if you have it over the blue boomerang. Like, the red boomerang is not useless. It's just usually lagging so much more that it's not worth taking it over the blue boomerang. And Furaime, knowing that there are still the dungeon items left, will be able to save and quit out or mirror out of the out of Place of Darkness once he open up the big chest. No, the last item is in there. And boos are done with the Palace of Darkness dungeon at the same time, pretty much. And Furaime now on his way to the laser ridge. Furaime, please move. If you do move, you reduce the cooldown to get back into the portal by by a few frames. Meanwhile, PRD going for Ice Palace, the pendant. So this is definitely a play on loose players. Furaime will definitely not find the cane on the laser bridge and will have to save and quit out afterwards. But he could find the cane in inside of Turtle Rock. And Kane in first chest of Ice Palace. PID, are you going out? Are you continuing? Looks like he's continuing. The the Cane of Maria might be the only thing that he would need out of here. The hookshot can now be also in pretty much the rest of Torch. The hookshot can now be, of course, in Tyroom. Could be on the mushroom. We could get a hint for it in Ice Palace. Could be. The hookshot could be on pedestal. We will see Furaime also go in for the Ice Palace play. We will see if he decides to keep going in here after finding the Cane of Maria. Also, I missed that first chance there, which is really nice. Unless we have like still the hookshot in Swamp Palace. Because that hint right now tells me, okay, yeah, I don't want to go to Swamp Palace at all, the seed, until I'm finding the hookshot. And Furaime is now hookshot away from go mode as well. I know he knows GT key logic by now, so if he takes care of it, he could end up skip out on the entire right side past the Tyroom. Unless, of course, that is also a key. Also, if Tyroom is a key, that would actually mean that we would have the big key in logic, which would mean that we could find the hookshot upstairs, which is dumb. Also, Furaime, please, you know this. There you go, nice. Okay, PRD going for the bomb jump to the iced tea room. And hookshot in here. What the? Okay, sure. Was there a hint for hookshot in Ice Palace or something? Oh my god. So yeah, PRD is in go mode and Furaime is just shortly behind. And Furaime, even though it might not look like it, but I would say Furaime is slightly in the lead. You don't see the reason for it, but the reason is Furaime already has the big key in GT. We don't care about Turtle Rock Medallion at all. Even if the logic would say, yeah, that's required, we still just clip in there and use our keys intelligently to skip the medallion requirement. By the way, can I quickly point out that PRD is at a 9 hearts go mode. Meanwhile, Furaime already has 14 hard containers. The difference in those hard containers is most is too cutting edge, because at first you save the time for picking them up, which is nice. You don't have to pick up the item. You skip some animation time, which saves a few seconds. But overall, you might lose time if you go for slower strats to be more safe, which is a good, which is always helpful to keep in mind. You still need to, if you go for safer strats, you will always lose time. And if you're not confident, picking up the hard containers is definitely good. Even if you are confident, you need to be really confident to skip hard containers. And we now see Furaime enter Swamp Palace. And yeah, I would say, like I said, Furaime is slightly in the lead or about the same. That's about the difference, mostly because Furaime already has half of GT cleared. So PRD is going for some 0-second strats, but gets rushed on by Argos a bit, so had to stop them. And goes for just 2 quick spins on Argos, which is fine. PRD, please stop bonking. Also, time for bombers to open up Maya. By the way, am I allowed to complain that we didn't saw all dungeons routing, even though it would have been slow because we have the fluid and mid? We are right now in the last stage of the tournament. This is the bronze matchup, and the finals are gonna continue on. The finals for the winner matchup is continuing on Sunday, and really clean execution of the 0-cycle Argos on Furaime. And there we go, quick kill, fully done, perfect. So yeah, we do know in Maya the big key is on the left side, along with our last sword. So we will see our runners quickly check that. There's a big key. Our runners might have hoped for finding the gold sword before the big key, knowing that the big key would have been in the other chest afterwards. But it's fine. Tempered sword serverless boost players are extremely fine with that. Really nice Maya too, and prdwong able to do the spooky glitch. Yay! Spooky in OWG is pretty rare, especially the flute variant, which is yay! This is a bronze place match, also fully spooky. Spooky! And yep, this is the first matchup of the bronze match. The second match is right afterwards. So if you like what you see here, just wait like 5 minutes afterwards and you will see more. Also, PRD, you should have just damage boosted it. You know the enemy threat, right? So both Furaime and PRD will just have to complete a Turtle Rock after Maya. Furaime, of course, already did the later bridge, which I don't think makes much of a difference unless he did find the key there. And PRD now going for the mirror up to Laser Bridge, which, to be honest, in this moment doesn't necessarily make too much sense. Reason behind that is he will have to do most of the dungeon now backwards, and based on big key location, won't be able to. Will have to do pretty much an entire way up to the front, which loses time over starting in the middle and then coming for the laser bridge. If we do end up finding the big key in the vanilla big key shapes, then we're going to save time like this, but otherwise not. I think Shane Jump chest is, by the way, pretty even overall. Well, yeah, he will just mirror back to Laser Bridge, but the thing is, he could. The thing is, he has to move through the entire dungeon. If he would come, if he would have come from the middle, it would have just saved time overall, because or if he would have come from the front, it would save time overall. Just because the way to the big key is shorter. And half magic invulnerable key chest. I guess runners are happy to have that, but that's not necessarily anything they need. And big key in front with that, going for the front first, and from there to the back would have been faster. Also, okay, I just wondered something, but makes sense. As shovel, that's not gonna give us a big key, but it's something nice to have, I guess. So the big key is going to be on the right side. I would assume that Furaime is going to check the right side first, because he doesn't have any small keys left right now. And yep, he's going to save even more time, so PRD and Furaime are literally neck and neck right now, but once they are going into GT, Furaime can go straight upstairs. The reason for Later Bridge getting skipped is they are in go mode and they just needed the big key. So no reason to check it. Which is also one of the reasons that you don't want to come in from the Laser Bridge entrance for this. And PID now into Trinex with Tempest where we have to do 5 slashes on each head. And Furaime gonna save a bit of time by going for a slightly faster strat, technically, but he took some a bit too long. So it's about the same time. And there we see Trinex down. On boost players, PRD getting out of the fight as Furaime picks up the the item. I don't know if shooting over is actually faster at this point, because you could pretty much just go over the bridge, which is also pretty fast. But yeah, Furaime is going to be ahead. BID still has to do either left or right side fully and check out the item in Bob's chest, which is the big key. Meanwhile, Furaime already has that and has 2 small keys, so straight upstairs it goes. So yeah, Here now comes all the time saves that Furaime had into play for this match. And PID going for right side Geo strats. Let's hope that he is going for full right, which technically saves time over checking the full left side, because full left side is more chests. Full left side takes more time because you have to check more chests that are slightly more out of the way. But of course, that's going to assume that he hopes that the big key is over there, which he can't know. So yeah, he'll probably open those chests over here and then ignore the rest. Hey, powder found. And yep. So if you were hoping for PID to catch up, no, I'm sorry. He'll get the big key in chest 18 for him. And well executed land molars 2 fight from Furaime. And time for the most fun rooms in the game, Zomaria threads. Yay! Triple kill. Oh, missed it. And there we go, 3 cycles for Visceral Stew. Almost. Furaime almost able to dash through Modam, but is able to spin him through the head, which is always nice. And PID got the big key, able to instantly mirror out and go for the boss. Time for some geometry. So 3 minus 1 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. Plus 3 minus 2 is 4. And we are now adding 1 more, so 5. And there we are, 6. What a dumb Aghanim fight. time for the Ganon fight. Time to beat the pig. 12 hits in the first two phases, with or 6 spins if you want to go for them. And afterwards 4 hits for each of the 4 falling floors sides 1. And then 12 Master Sword for 12 spins or 24 slashes. PRD having a pretty rough time on Lenmo too, as Furaime is able to get the first bad side, first corner away, but gets the second one and again got the 5 bats, which isn't bad, but it's pretty hard sometimes. I would assume that Furaime switches over to Fire Rod. Yep. Fire Rod is better for this because you charge your spin during the Fire Rod and are prepared for hitting Ganon a bit better. Yeah, so, which is nice. So he will be able to quickly get through this fight. Oh, gets blue pigs there. We don't want blue pigs. And there we go. Bacon done with bacon. He's into the chat. Finishing with an SR time of let's walk over the bridge now. Finishing with an SR time of 1:27:25. So GG's in chat. So yeah, Furaime did win game 1, but we of course will have game 2 right afterwards. They will take some break between, so gives them the moment to take some rest, hit up the bathroom if they need to, and then but of course, wait till PRD is done with Aker, because we still want him to finish. There he goes. So yeah, PRD now on his Ganon fight, and of course he will be able to get some hits in. And oh, please, you have a red potion, PRD. You have a red potion. Drink it, please. Drink it. Please don't die. And there we see the torch stage from PRD. He will probably also go for a fire rod after this, or not. Okay, this is fine. By the way, don't get hit, PRD. Getting hit is bad. Come on. He is soon to be done. Also, Vampire Skewers on pad, which is just arrows. If it would be the silvers, it would actually be razor blades, so don't worry. He didn't have a pad seed. And there we go, PNG is done with the cannon fire. Getting the entire last phase there was pretty good. Pretty good. So he finishes with an after some rage, he finishes with an SL time of 1 hour 31 minutes 6 seconds. GG. The runners will take a short little break and let the credits run through and everything, so they will be able to get but yeah, this was definitely an interesting seed with boost, Chain of Samaria, and Hookshot and Pendant Ice Palace. So, if you want some shots, yeah, there you go. Boost runners were able to not dip out and find boost items, which was great. Also, of course, boost runners around once. This kind of trolley seed, which was, of course, great. Yeah, I'm gonna head out. I was Mike K. I won't be your commentator for the next match. That's going to be Shake's Human. And the tracker for the next match is going to be Dimensive. This time it was Samima, so give Samima a lot of love in the chat because she did. I don't know, male or female, so they did a great job doing all the buttons. And so yeah, big thanks for them. They did track a lot of matches throughout the tournament. Same for Dimensive, so big loves to both of them. And yeah, so going to see you next match in chat, and gonna give the stage open for Shake's Human in just a moment. See you then.